Welcome everyone, Professor Bright back to talk to you about two things, Just Ask at UMR and then also academic integrity and what we commonly know as AI in many other contexts, so artificial intelligence. Believe it or not, they actually are linked. But let's talk about Just Ask first. So Just Ask is UMR's version of office hours, and I'm sure in your review of UMR, Just Ask may have been a significant factor as far as why you chose to come here, and we hope it is because faculty love working with students during the Just Ask time. Okay, so we'll talk about how to access, Just Ask hours and all that, but just in case it wasn't said to you already, Just Ask, it's a place for you to get drop-in help with anything that you need, whether it be homework, study tips, or some students just go there and work. Right? It's a space where instructors are available and you just need to be in that space to be accountable to actually do the work, right? And so students use it in a variety of ways and know that instructors are there to support you and however you want to use Just Ask, all right? But we are there to help you however we can, okay? That said, the times, right, they are posted, but they do vary from instructor to instructor, course to course, etc., etc. So it is prudent of you to always make sure to check the calendar for times and availability. And so for that, there is a web page here that we'll go through here in just a minute. You'd go to UMAR's web page, select academics from the top kind of bar, and then Just Ask as a drop down in there. So that's kind of the overall flow. Otherwise, honestly, what I do is sometimes I just Google and UMR Just Ask because I forget how to navigate there using the website. And so if you go to UMR's webpage, right, I'll show you under academics, you can select Just Ask. And then here you get a picture of a previous student, and you got to scroll, and then find the instructor's area that they work in. So for example, I'm a math faculty, and then the calendar is going to display the times that are available for help. And so it's the middle of August, right? We're in the middle of summer term. There's nothing available, but let's go back to, say May, April. Let's go to April. Okay, and then you can see, okay, there's a few different instructors that are shown by different colors. And then you can see, where they are and the times that they're at. Okay. And for example, like Professor Landon has some online hours. So if you click on that, so you can click on these different events and it'll have more details. So for example, the Zoom link is there for you to access those online hours. Okay. Otherwise, you just show up to those places and, if you have questions, always check with the faculty, but otherwise you show up, get help, and get your questions answered. All right. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that, coming to this webpage could be a little cumbersome at times. And so if you want to add this to your own calendar, there's an option in the lower left corner, add to Google Calendar, and then you click on that. You're going to see my calendar for a minute. And it shows up, which calendars do you want to add. And so maybe Professor Lanand is my faculty member for this semester. And so, okay, I don't need to see Mr. Ballum's hours. And so I can just add that to mine. Okay, and then I would add, whatever I've selected. Okay, so just an option if you want to integrate it with your Google Calendar, but that is completely up to you. Okay, so now, Just Ask. The reason we have Just Ask at UMR is because A, we love our students and we love working with all of you, but B, we want to help you show the best work that you can and really convey your understanding in the way that you can per the assignment's constraints. And so that kind of ties in with this concept of academic integrity. You've likely heard of integrity as a word, and then maybe you just have this nebulous concept, but looking at a definition, it says it's the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles. And so when we add, the adjective academic in there, it is thinking about, okay, how can we be honest and have strong moral principles in an academic setting where we're learning, right? And so this is the goal of all of our learning and all of our time at the university is, how can we convey our understanding in an authentic way and so that we learn, right? And so to kind of tie into this, the faculty at working with Rapid Ready Week developed kind of a statement on academic integrity. And so it's there, and I'll also read it out loud. As an academic community, we have shared expectations that the information you receive and that you create are provided with integrity and honesty. It's a matter of trust and reflects the essence of academic integrity. Okay? And so this is a bit of a contract. Now, as you do your work, right, you can certainly use resources and tools at your disposal. One such tool is what we commonly known as AI, artificial intelligence, right? And the U of M has a variety of tools and resources available in that sphere, right? And we also recognize as a faculty that these tools aren't going to go away, right? You're going to need to know how to use them. You need to understand there's limits to them and there's ways to abuse them, but also as much as they are abused, there's also a lot of benefits, right? And things are quickly evolving because of that. And so the U of M system has created a list of resources, and you can certainly download this or click on this link from the slides, or just Google AI at umn.edu, and it will take you to this Navigating AI page. And so you can read through all this. The previous president convened a task force around this. But really what I want to draw your attention to are already some tools that the U of M has licenses for. So Gemini, Google product, Copilot, Microsoft product, and then the other one that we commonly use is Zoom. So there's a built-in AI in there too. Notice that ChatGPT is not in there, so ideally, you're not doing any work in ChatGPT related to university stuff, but students will do things that are always interesting. So, but just wanted to draw your attention there. And then if you want to look up, additional information, and maybe they do offer workshops. Generally, they're more targeted towards faculty, but you can certainly look at those as well. Okay, now. The other critical part of all of this conversation is thinking about how artificial intelligence ties in with academic integrity. And so right now, because of where artificial intelligence is, it's kind of come up quickly, and academic integrity really hasn't had a good way to intersect with that just yet. So it's not well defined, but what the university has been able to say is, what is dishonesty, right? Integrity was being honest, so the opposite of being honest is dishonest, and there is policy around that. And so there is a code in policy saying, what inappropriate use of AI, means. And some faculty interpret it different ways, and so overall, as you're thinking about how you should use artificial intelligence as a student, what we really recommend as a faculty is to make sure to ask, right? And this would be an excellent conversation at Just Ask. Some classes, they're going to say, use it extensively, and I've designed assignments that are incapable of being used in artificial intelligence. Other courses are a little bit more restrictive on it and say, well, you can use it to help generate ideas, but maybe don't do it in creating your response to the assignment. Okay, so always have a conversation with your instructor, just so that you can understand expectations and boundaries. Okay, other quick tips: check the syllabus. Sometimes that language is in there. Like we use AI in this way. Okay, also AI. It's not a replacement for your brain. So you still are expected to think critically. AI sometimes have hallucinations. I have seen ChatGPT responses that come up with sources to an article that are not sensical or are not accessible to the student, right? So just be aware that there's, if you look at the response could be wrong. The phrase neurons that fire together wire together. And so remember that, AI interfaces with technology, and sometimes you might not have technology. It's not a replacement for your brain. Other tips, some AIs, that's why the university has two of them. Some AIs might be better than others. So Gemini might be better at something than, say, Copilot. Also, be aware, and if you aren't aware of this, it might be good to Google, but AI takes up an incredible amount of resources in terms of electricity, water, so use it sparingly, right? And then also, this kind of ties into the whole previous message, but if you're in doubt, triple check the information, ask the professor, just because, again, there's hallucinations that could appear or just wrong information. Believe it or not, it actually has done math wrong. And so sometimes it's good to have a conversation with an expert in the field as opposed to relying solely on artificial intelligence. Okay, so those are the starting tips and tricks to artificial intelligence at UMN and how it kind of ties in with the concept of academic integrity. So you should be showing your work in an honest way that reflects your knowledge so that as faculty we can help you develop. All right, if you have other questions, I'll let your other instructors chime in. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of Raptor Ready week.